It is time to take your Sims game to the next level. So if you're currently playing The Sims on a PC like this, then by the end of this video, you'll be playing it like this, and even better because you can customize it to exactly how you want. Hey guys, so today we're gonna be talking about how you can unleash your Sims game to its full potential. Which definitely sounds kind of dramatic, but I guarantee you by the end of this video, it will feel like you are playing a completely different game. A little disclaimer, this is gonna be for PC and Mac players only. I am so sorry to console players. And also you might already be doing some of this stuff or all of this stuff, and if you are, feel free to leave some comments down below on what you recommend to kind of maximize your Sims game. Okay, so the topics that we're going to be discussing today are Reshade, the Sims 3 camera, cheat codes, mods, custom content, and the gallery. We got a lot to deep dive into, so let's get started. And don't forget that you can use my creator code Emma when purchasing Sims 4 packs to support me as a creator. We're starting with something that I think probably has the biggest impact on how you experience your game, and that is Reshade. So for those who don't know, Reshade is basically an application that you can download where you can change the colors of so many different games, not just The Sims, but it really has such an impact on how you experience it. And then some creators have made reshades that are readily available for you to download, and it will directly apply to your game like a filter. So I'm gonna first show you how you download Reshade, and then we're gonna use the example of MissLollypopSims, who actually has done a few different videos talking you through the entire process. Her video is what educated me on Reshade. I will leave the video down below because she goes into a lot of detail, and I highly recommend watching that as well. So I'm going to assume that most of you are using the EA app. So if we load up the EA app, you go under your game, click the dots above it here of The Sims 4, and you're going to find View Properties. And what this is going to tell us is where the game is installed. So under Install Location, if you just click Browse, it will take you directly to the game. Okay, so it might look something like this under your local disk, Program Files, EA Games, The Sims 4. These are all of the packs that you have: expansion packs, game packs, stuff packs. So you are going to locate the game file, which is kind of hidden between your EPs, expansion packs, and your GPs, your game packs. So kind of tucked away is game. Open up the bin, and we're keeping this open. So keep this open and ready for you to kind of drag and drop other files into here. So I want to show you two reshades that I highly recommend that you get started with. Starting with MissLollypopSims, this one is the Serenity Shader preset. So here are a couple of before and afters. So it makes things vibrant, it gives them color. And then another option is the Dove 2.0 Reshade preset by Kindle Spice. This one is much more vibrant. There's a lot more color, a lot more oomph behind everything. Wait, sorry. I just found another Reshade preset that I think I want to download, also by MissLollypopSims, but this one is called Radiance. I feel like is kind of the vibe I want to go from in my game. So it's warm, it's colorful, it's vibrant, and it has kind of a smooth, soft, blurry effect. So scroll down till we find the Reshade download. There is a similar application that you can use called Gshade, but I recommend Reshade. I don't know anything about Gshade. Scroll down till you find download Reshade and click on the latest version. So Reshade downloaded to my downloads folder. I clicked on the file and it's opened up this setup window. What you now need to do is pick which game or application you want to directly reshade, and that is obviously going to be The Sims. You might not find it on this list. Mine doesn't appear on this list. That's totally fine. We are going to input it directly here, and that is going to be this path up here. So we need to copy paste this path, and then we're going to come over to here and click Browse. That is going to open up a similar window. And then up here, we're going to paste that path that we have just copied. So there, click enter, and it will take us to these core files. And the game is TS4_X64. That is the game, The Sims 4. So I will click that, open, and there we go. We've linked Reshade to The Sims 4 game. Now we can click next. Okay, now we get to something really interesting, because in the past, you would have always just clicked DirectX 9, which is what The Sims 4 was built on. However, they released a statement or an announcement a couple of weeks ago that they will be slowly transitioning to DirectX 11, available for Windows players on an opt-in basis, but I don't think that's fully rolled out yet. So for now, it is DirectX 9. If that changes, I will let you all know down below. So keep that just to DirectX 9 by default. Next. Okay, so now it wants to know what effects we want to install and if we have a preset file, which we do. We are using MissLollypopSims. So I'm downloading doing the Radiance preset, as I said, click on that and download it. Okay, so the file downloaded to my downloads folder, but you can leave it there. I like to move it elsewhere on my computer because I regularly clean out that downloads folder. So I just go under my documents, I create a new folder called Miscellaneous, The Sims 4 Reshade, and I've just dragged and dropped that into here. Now we've just located that same file under Miscellaneous, click on that, open, and we have our effect down here. Now, before we hit next, it's important that you read the fine print in all of the Reshade effects that you download. So she says to keep standard effects, keep sweet FX ticked, keep the legacy effects ticked. She also wants you to scroll down to find Quint by Marty McFly and tick that. So that's an additional one that you'll need to take with you. And that's it. Then you can click next. And that is it. Now we can click finish. Okay, now we are going to open up the game and check out our new Reshade. Okay, now we have loaded up the game and we are back playing everyone's favorite family, and you might notice the game already looks very different. Reshade has been successfully installed. You can tell by this gray pop-up in the top left. It will also tell you that if you click home, you'll be able to go through a tutorial. We're gonna skip the tutorial, but I do recommend it. So I didn't go into too much detail or any kind of troubleshooting about installing Reshade. That's why I would recommend watching MissLollypopSims full walkthrough, which I will link down below. But just kind of top level stuff. Actually, before we get into settings, you will need to immediately go into game options, graphics, and have edge smoothing turned off. So edge smoothing and a couple of the settings within Reshade, MXAO specifically, are not compatible together. You might notice actually loading up your game for the first time, there'll be some weird gray glitches on screen. As soon as you turn edge smoothing off, that should stop. Now we can go back into settings. I would be careful about going too kind of crazy with these settings, or at least what I've done a couple of times is take a photo of these settings. So you have like a reference point if you kind of go too crazy with the settings, and you can always go revert them back to what they were before. See colorfulness here, which is 0.08. Whoa, okay, now we go really crazy. Guys, I forgot what it was. 0.05? I feel like 0.08. Well, that's a good start. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that now. Anyway, be careful playing around with those settings. But one thing I do recommend doing is on the top left, go under settings, and here you can kind of select your hotkeys. So the overlay key is the home button by default. That's what gets this settings bar up. Then directly below it is the effect toggle key. I set that to control home. So what that does is now when we're in game, if you do control home, it turns off the settings on and off. Look at what a difference this has made. Look at the colors of the trees. Okay, we have Eliza Pancakes coming out now, and she's got bright red hair, she's got a green shirt, and look at the difference. It just transforms her. It transforms the game, it transforms Eliza. And again, you've got total control about how you want your game to look. Okay, we're moving on. The next thing I want to talk about is the camera, specifically the Sims 3 camera, and how I would recommend absolutely everybody to get to grips with it. So by default, your game will be in the Sims 4 camera, but the Sims 3 camera, so we're going back in time a little bit, will absolutely transform the way that you build and gameplay. The thing with the Sims 4 camera, the newer camera, is that you are kind of restricted in angle. So if you want to build, you're kind of set to building at this perspective. If you then go into Sims 3 camera, let's go back to build. But what I also have the ability to do is to freely rotate this perspective. So look, we can literally go eye to eye with Bob. We're in build mode, remember, so this is giving us real control over what we're seeing. And all I'm doing for this is I'm holding down my mouse wheel. I then can control exactly what the perspective is. So if you want to do bird's eye like this for a cool screenshot, you can, but then we can also get real up close and personal with Eliza. What this allows you to do, if I just press play, is it really, let's bring Eliza into the kitchen. It really just makes you feel like, look at this, like you're in the kitchen with them. Okay, so there you go. Eliza's getting a glass of water. She's looking very happy with herself. And there you go, just all three of us hanging out watching TV together. Whereas we were limited before with perspective with the Sims 4 camera, with the Sims 3, we are not limited at all. So it's definitely a bit of a learning curve, but once you get to grips with it, it will completely change the way you play your game. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, I'm not gonna go too into detail about this because I'm sure a lot of you already know this. We are talking about testing cheats on. So that is the cheat codes, the power of cheat codes, specifically the build cheat codes, but also there's, you know, gameplay cheat codes, there's career cheat codes, relationship cheat codes, there is loads. Something that kind of completely changed the way that I play the game was the introduction to bb.move objects, the cheat code. Let's get into a room. Let's go. Oh, okay, this is a great example. So look at this room. Look at how, I want to use the word stiff. You got two chairs facing each other and a random light in the middle. And that is because the objects are restricted to the grid. What you can do with this cheat code is select an object, hold down your shift button, no, alt button. Me not knowing the cheat. Hold down the Alt button and you can freely move the object. And not only that, you can also freely rotate it. So now we can have it facing a little bit more into the other chair that we're about to move. Again, holding down the Alt button. Already so much better. Look at this mirror. Does this mirror really need to be a meter off the wall? Click the mirror, hold down your Alt button and just scooch that mirror a little bit further back. There you go. Perfect. And you can do this with things like clutter. So for example, this lamp I find to be kind of too far in the middle, but if I hold down the Alt, I can now place it in the corner of the cabinet. So that is probably my #1 most used cheat code. There is a whole world of cheat codes to be discovered if you're not familiar with them. Carl's Sims 4 Guide is an incredible website, also great database for the cheat codes. So I will leave Carl's Sims 4 Guide down below, check that out. But yeah, welcome to the world of cheat codes if that is new for you. Okay, so I have taken you to a personal save file of mine, and this is Piper Wolf in a random apartment in San Myshuno. And the reason why I've taken you here is because it is about 90% custom content. So there is custom content, which are individual items and objects, things like clothes and things like hair that you can just simply drag and drop into your game. Yeah, this apartment is pretty much 90% custom content. So objects that were made by other creators and I have just simply installed into my game. There is an incredible world of custom content creators, which I actually do short videos on pretty much every few weeks, where I showcase my favorite build objects, my favorite cast objects, which are create a sim. Let's jump into that now quickly. If you want to follow me over on TikTok or Reels or Shorts, about every few weeks I show you some of my recent favorites. She is head to toe in custom content. So we have these really pretty shirts from Clumsy Alien. Then we also have custom content hair. So this is also a hair by Clumsy Alien. I have so many favorite creators. Clumsy Alien's a good one, A. Harris Brittany, and a lot of them have Tumblrs or patrons, and you can find all of their stuff on there. But I'm gonna very quickly show you how to actually go from visiting a creator's website, downloading their stuff, and getting it into your game. And the best part is that a lot of this content is free. So about 90% of the custom content you'll find online is free. You can download it, put it in your game. You don't have to pay a dime. Sometimes creators have early access for their patron community, so it will be like 2 weeks or a month of early access to their paid members. And then after the 2 to 4 week period, the custom content will then be free for anyone to download. Make sure you follow the creators on Twitter because they'll regularly post when items go from early access to open to public. Okay, so I have gone on to one of my favorite creators. This is Clumsy Alien. This is their Tumblr, and they have a new collection called Atlantis, which I am absolutely in love with. Look at the pearls. So we have the Shelly hair, we have the pearl hair, we have 2 tops, 2 skirts, and if you scroll down, they usually have it in capitals and bold letters. It will say download. It will take you to either a patron or sometimes it will take you to a Sims file share website. And again, you're just gonna wanna scroll down. So the name of the file that you're gonna download is .package. So download, I'm downloading all of them. Okay, so now where to actually put the content. So it's in your downloads folder. By default, it's down here. I've had to hide the rest of my downloads folder. On a separate window, open up your game, The Sims 4. Then you're gonna scroll down to mods. And then from there, you have all of your beautiful mods and custom content. And then from there, you can drag all of your objects. So we have the Clumsy Alien stuff, 6 objects. Just simply drag it in straight into your mods. Now that we've loaded up the game, actually, make sure you go under game options and then other, and you need to have your enable, custom content and mods, and your script mods turned on. Every base game update, or I don't think with every new pack, but definitely the base game updates, it will toggle off both of these. You need to, before you load any save file, turn the custom content and script mods back on, because if you load into a game with them turned off, all of your Sims will be bald, they'll be naked, the apartments will be empty, because your game is basically blocked from reading the custom content files, which means they don't exist, which means suddenly everyone is naked. I'm so excited to see the new stuff. I'm obsessed. Oh my god, it's so cute. Look at the detail. Oh wow, Clumsy Alien has truly just done it again. The matching skirt is so pretty. Look at the pearls. Oh my god, it's stunning. Look at this with the pieces around framing the face, the little bun at the top. I'm so obsessed. Okay, so that's just very quick what you can do in about 5 minutes just with custom contents. Okay, so moving on to mods. So this is very similar to custom content as it's made by creators outside of the Sims 4 Maxis EA team, and instead of them being package files, which is what we were seeing as the objects, these are scripts. So they are directly changing the game's script. You actually put them in exactly the same place as custom content. So I'll show the screen again, and you might notice some of them were script files and some of them were package files, and you download them the same way from a creator's website. Scroll down, find the download link, and download the script. A couple of key favorites that I want to show you, quickly talk about right now, is the UI cheats mod. That is an absolute game changer. You will download it and then never be able to play without it. So basically what that allows you to do is to right click on pretty much anything on the UI and change it and customize it. So for example, it is currently gray right now in San Myshuno. I'm right clicking that and I am able to change the current weather. So I'm gonna just click sunny. There you go, it just changed. You can also do the same with season. Right click on that, we can change the season. Let's do something like skills, open up the skill panel. I say I want her to have a higher fitness level. I just right click, there you go. She's currently at a level 1. We can definitely change that to a level 10 and suddenly she has maxed it out. Yeah, just an incredible mod. I will leave the links down below for you. So we are almost at the end of the video, and the last topic that I want to cover is the gallery. So for that, I've taken you to another save file. This one was actually a gameplay series that we did over on Twitch. I think this was Sims in Bloom. I have no idea what gen we are. Basically, this was where I really discovered the power of the gallery. What it did make me realize is how there is an incredible community of builders. They just create the most amazing builds that are gameplay ready, and they are just ready to be downloaded and ready for you to jump straight into with your stories, with your Sims, and live their best life. So I will leave the name of this creator somewhere on screen. I have gone and done a few changes to this build, but just like some of these architectural elements I wanted to show you. They've done this really cool thing with beams, and downloading someone else's build gets you inspired. It gets you motivated to do something different. Look at this absolutely beautiful one. This is a mid-century modern one. I see loads of colors. Then a complete contrast, we have a fun social media apartment. It says here for young Sims in gaming or social media. And let's get one more that's very different. This looks beautiful and a little bit more cozy and traditional. I love this creator. I follow Evelina on Instagram. If you are a game player, or even if you are a builder but just looking for a little bit of build inspo, go and explore the gallery to download other people's builds, check them out, admire them, leave a comment, and also make them your own. So use it as a springboard to then go and do something completely different, or something that's at least more in line with your style. So that is it for our video today. I've had an absolute blast talking you through some of my favorite things to do to maximize my Sims game. Let me know if you have any other tips and tricks for Sims players on what you do to really transform the game, either visually or within gameplay or build mode. So I hope you've all enjoyed today's video, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!